Welcome to the Friends of Friends podcast. Here are your hosts, Henry Hargitay and Jason Cole.
Yeah. We're back, still doing it. Friends of Friends podcast. I'm Henry Hargitay. That's Jason Cole. In a few moments, we're going to be welcoming on our first ever guest on the show, Dave Major. Is a guy we've known for a couple years now. Love talking to him. It'll be good to catch up. Listen, man, this is episode number 2. I said it last time. I had never seen you in a tie before. And the biggest takeaway from some of my big supporters was, man, we need that tie again.
Oh, damn. Well, I apologize in advance. The tie was a one-off. Probably won't happen again anytime soon, but this is my everyday attire.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like. Yeah, I mean, I thought you kind of looked like a public defender rocking that tie, but the feedback was pretty good. But anyway, do us a favor, be a friend of a friend, go like, go subscribe, do your thing. Check us out, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Be a friend, go subscribe, do your thing.
Be
and with that,
be
a friend of a friend. And with that, we're going to go ahead and welcome him on here. Dave Major, my man, what's cracking?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Hey, dude, we're all good. We're not as good as you though, Mr. Pepperdine, Mr. Zoe 101 Malibu. Congrats from both of us. I know we spoke about it a little bit before, but an incredible life accomplishment to get into a university like that to play basketball. So just like open it up, talk a little bit about how special that decision was for you.
No, it was definitely awesome. Like I told you before, like I visited that campus twice in my life. Once when I was in 8th grade. My dad and I were out in California, so we visited that and we visited UCLA. And then the second time I visited was on my official visit right after my senior season. They had been following me pretty much all season. After my last game, I'd gotten the coach to reach out to me again. And I had kind of built up a relationship with him since around 10th grade. And, I went up for a visit and I kind of just like fell in love with it. And, their style of play is like very similar to like how I like to play. Like, the West Coast style of play, they run, they gun, they shoot, like that's how they, that's their style of play. And I feel like I was able to like fit that system well. And everything about it though, like it literally looks like a 5-star resort. Like that campus, like that campus,
Malibu.
Campus, like it's second to none when it comes to that stuff. But
how much of an influence was Zoe 101? Did you even watch that show? Are you like old enough to remember that?
When I was younger, but like that wasn't much of an influence now. I mean, like that's definitely, I think their like claim to fame right now, but like, I don't think, that wasn't much of it, but that was definitely pretty cool.
Yeah. So I want to ask this, Jay, I know you got a question, but I want to ask this because, we spoke about this before too. I go back and I watch the Cold World training footage from like the past 2 years, 3 years. And it's like I'm watching a movie of all of your lives just progressing. And it's really humbling to see. And the one thing that I always remember with you was that first day where you were going up against Raleigh. And we have this footage and you were going up against Raleigh and you must have tried scoring on him. We were doing the drill with the 3 lanes, full court. You must have tried.
Don't say drill. It's not a drill. The court is broken down into 3 channels.
I did want to actually talk about this story. This was like the one thing that like I had in mind, like coming into this.
Yeah. So my recollection was you went at him for at least 2 hours, probably scored like maybe one basket.
I scored twice the whole 2 hours. And like one of them was like some lucky ass like step back jump shot. Like it was. I remember like I walked into the gym. I swear it was my first time ever like working out with Jay, and it was like prime quarantine. I walk in the gym and there's Raleigh, who's played for the Pelicans or the Bulls at the time or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like in 10th grade, 150 pounds, like cocky as shit, walking in thinking I'm all that, and then I'm going at this NBA player for 2 hours and literally scored like twice. And after that, like I told Jay, like I was like that was like the biggest wake up call for me, because like I realized like I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, and I was nowhere near where I wanted to be a Division I / pro caliber player. Like I was nowhere near where I needed to be yet. And so after that day, it definitely like humbled me, and it definitely like showed me like, look, I still got a lot of work to do, but like I literally every single day since then, Jay and I have been in the gym for the past like 3 years since then, or 2 years since then. So I mean, that story, I literally told somebody that story the other day too. Like it was just, like that's one thing I just love to go back to. And I also said too, like before I committed to, right after I committed, I was like, Rolly, like, and then definitely had like a big part in my like development as a player, just because of like even just that day, like that day was just the wake up call for me, where it was like, all right, like I got to get bigger, stronger. I got to get, used to playing against like that type of defense, those types of guys, like stuff like that. And even that whole summer, I was in the gym with straight pros after that. And it was just, and Jay was exposing me to all these guys and stuff like that, which was great. So, I mean, yeah.
Jay, what do you remember from that day?
I just remember him going into his sophomore year. He was telling me he just had a really good freshman campaign. I say senior because I'm just so excited. He just finished the senior campaign. But he was going into his sophomore year, and he was just telling me, he had a really good year, and he had a really good backcourt mate. At the time was Jalen Lamont, right?
Yeah.
Who's being recruited by everyone. That was the backcourt at the time. He now transferred, and Dave was going to have some pressure on him, and he had to be the guy. Before it was okay because he could just be not Robin, but he had someone else that could carry the load on any given night.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case anymore. Now, every single night, Dave, you got to carry the load.
Yeah.
And the load is win. I didn't say score 40. I didn't say score 50. I didn't say score 60. I said win. If you're carrying a load, you have to win the game. We don't care about anything else for anybody else that may be thinking other than win. It just so happens to be that to win, he had to score 40 on some given nights.
A lot of nights.
A lot of nights.
He answered the bell.
Now, 30 was regular. Yeah. Right? 40 was 30 here and there.
30. I think I had like 3 40-point games, but I averaged around 30, which is the most in the state, I'm pretty sure.
Dave, what do you think is, looking back on all the Cold World training years, which are still going, obviously, you got out of the gym like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was
we literally just got out the gym.
When you look back on all of this stuff, like what's like the single most important thing you think you've learned through Cold World training?
To like never think you got it all figured out. Like always, like there's always room for improvement, no matter how much better you're getting, like whatever it is. Like never think that you got it all figured out, and that there's always like I'll be in the gym like sometimes like twice, 3 times a day, because it's like I'll go in like in the morning and I'll be like, all right, like that was a good workout and all, but I'm not really satisfied. So it's like I need to get like, and like I have that mentality and Jay has that mentality. So it's like, and all we're trying to do is just get better and progress and like get to where,
that's it.
I can be effective at the next level and stuff like that. So, I mean, I feel like it's just, the main message is like never think you got it all figured out, and just always keep working, put your head down, keep working. Like that's really the main message.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
It's a really good answer, because one of the things, and Jay probably taught you this like right away, but he always harps on it, and that's that once you get to that Division I level, especially, where you're about to be, everyone was putting up 30 like in their high school. Like everyone was a superstar. So
players from where they were from, everyone was, so you got to do something to separate yourself and, stand out.
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing that I've really enjoyed following, like with your path, is just your family and how close you are with them. And I see the videos, and like I've talked to your parents before. What was this process like for them? Because this is such a big thing, not just for you, but like you committing to a school to play Division I basketball. It's a family accomplishment also, because you don't do it alone. And when you do it, they're still going to be with you. What was the moment like for them when you told them like, Mom, Dad, like this is it. This is where I'm going?
Well, so actually what happened was when I was on my visit, like I was in the hotel room with my dad, and like it was like right after the visit, I was kind of like, I told him straight up, I was like, look, I'm like, this is where I want to be. Like, this is where I want to like go to school. Like, we had talked to the coach or whatever, and like I was just sitting in the hotel room with him that night, and I was like I think this is the spot. Like, this is where I want to be. And then like, if I'm being honest with you, like I really committed. Like at the end of the visit, we were done talking and stuff like that. Like I basically committed, and he was like, all right, like what number do you want to wear? And I'm like, and I told him, like he, so it was really cool because I was just like I did commit, but I don't think like I committed on my visit pretty much, and
but no one else knew.
No one else knew that. Like I committed
Right.
on my visit, and then like it wasn't until like a month later where I announced it. But like, yeah, I mean, it was back to your question. Like, it was really cool for them. My dad was obviously like the first one to know because he was the one on the visit with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told my mom when I got back, I was like, she's like, how was it? I was like, I pretty much committed. Like I told the coach, like I gave the coach my jersey number, like and she was, obviously very relieved because, I've been going through like this process since 9th, 10th grade, talking to coaches, like all this stuff. And it's just like, and like, Jay has been there with me like every step of the way. Like he knows what I had to go through and like talking to coaches, getting recruited and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of ups and downs in that whole process. And, my family was definitely like very proud of me, very relieved, and yeah, because like honestly, like 2 or 3 months ago, if I'm being 100% honest, I was going to do a prep year. Obviously like my senior season definitely helped me out, like leading the state in scoring and all that stuff like that definitely like helped me out.
I
like,
mean, New Jersey is a big state.
Exactly.
Can we not agree with that?
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, but I think
numbers don't lie, people do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Jersey right now, at least, is the best state for basketball. I think we breed the best hoopers. So, I mean,
I'm from New York. I'm not going to sit here and agree, but, I train in Jersey and there's some hitters out there, but nah.
Yeah. Dave, do you feel like you were kind of like a hidden gem almost in the recruitment process? Do you feel like you were slept on a little bit?
Definitely like in the beginning of my senior season, yeah, I think so a little bit. Like I had a good AAU season with Team Rio, and then I came into like my senior season, and like I feel like people like knew who I was, but like I felt like it like wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I still had that chip on my shoulder. Like, all right, like I need to wake up the entire state, like show them like, all right, like this is what I could do, like this, whatever. And I especially made sure I did that when we played against like the top teams in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like the good teams and stuff like that. Like, but I definitely felt like at the beginning of the season I was like a hidden gem in some way. But I definitely always went out there and like played with that chip on my shoulder. Like, I'm underrated. I'm an underdog. And yeah.
Jay, what's the biggest difference in Dave's game that you've seen from day one to where he's at now?
Confidence.
In what way?
He knows when he's doing wrong, and he knows what he has to do right. That's big for basketball players. So let's just say I'm a 3-point specialist and I'm great at shooting the 3 ball, right?
Like me.
And I missed, let's just say I'm Henry Hargitay and I missed 3 threes in a row, right? What am I going to do on the 4th shot? Am I taking another 3? Now, Dave, in some cases he might, but knowing how much he's improved, he won't. He'll go to the rim. He'll get fouled. He'll get to the free throw line. He'll make sure that result changed. So if you miss 3 in a row, you're not missing again.
Make the adjustment.
Whether that is a layup, a 3, I don't know, but I know he won't miss that 4th time, and he's super confident. So I would say just confidence on a day-to-day. I mean, when you do something every single day of your life, do you not believe in yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adding on to what he said, like I got interviewed after like this All-Star game once, and they were asking me that same thing, like, what's the key to like being successful in basketball and whatnot? And I think 90% of basketball is confidence. I think 90% of life is confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you want to succeed in life, you need to be confident. Like, if you don't, like, it's going to sound like cliche when I say it, but it's like, if you don't believe in yourself, like no one, like Like no one else is gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nobody else cares. I tell my kids that every day.
yeah, like you have to like
no one else cares.
and some people might mistake it for like cockiness and whatnot, but like and
Doesn't
some people might
matter.
mistake my confidence for cockiness. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, it's like if you don't have confidence, you're not gonna be able to shoot the basketball at a high rate. You're not gonna be able to. You need to have confidence in your handles and your shot and everything, or else you're not gonna be able to play ball at the highest level or play ball at the Division I level, or it just doesn't work. Like if you don't have confidence, you can't play basketball. So
Really well said. Really well said. I like that a lot. All right, last thing before we let you get out of here. I sent you the footage to remind you, and you talked about it before. Part of the Cold World training experience is you get to play against pros, as a sophomore in high school. And part of that, you get humbled sometimes, but on other occasions, you get humbled by the video guy. The guy, puts the video camera down.
Now he's a video guy, Dave. He didn't play basketball, Dave. He's a video guy.
I'm just saying a little nutmeg action. You remember that, right, Dave?
I do remember that, and that was about 2 years ago. But yeah, I do remember that.
Listen, people complain that I talk about my own game on the podcast. You know what? If you want to start your own podcast and talk about your highlights, fucking go for it. Like, this is my podcast, and I nutmegged him. I'm taking that with me all the way to Malibu because we're gonna be out there. Believe that.
Oh, listen,
I love it.
we are at Pepperdine.
Yes, sir.
That's a
We're at
fact.
Pepperdine. Yeah, we are.
And we're
Pepperdine.
at West Virginia too. We're gonna be at a lot of places this year.
Yep.
Yeah, friends of friends.
What
travel.
number are you wearing at Pepperdine next year, David?
All right, I'm wearing 33 next year. It's like the family number.
Larry Bird.
Show him that chain, boy.
Yes, sir. My
Show
grandfather.
him that chain. Show him that
Let's
chain.
see it.
Let's see that chain
Sir.
every day, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
so
on.
my grandfather wore that when he played in the NBA, and then my dad wore it in college. So I decided to bring it back. I had worn it my freshman year and then switched to number 1 my sophomore, junior, senior. And then number 1 is actually taken by somebody else right now. So I was like, let's go back to 33, bring that back. I think that would be cool. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Dave, thanks so much. Always love talking to you.
Thank
All
you.
love.
Same here.
Nutmegs, no nutmegs, don't matter. We always appreciate you coming on. We'll talk soon. And hey, we're coming out. We don't even need the invite.
Mr. Major.
Got you guys. Let me know when you're out there, man.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you soon, David.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Later.
Thanks for checking out the Friends of Friends podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend.